Okay, let's start our file-to-file scenario. For this, we have to enter the SLD, but before entering the SLD, let's create a user for ourselves, so we don't use the administrator user all the time. So administrator A B C D 1 2 3 4. So we enter the user management. In here we get the web interface for the user management. I'm always using the credentials of the PI super user. So let's search for the PI super user. This is our user. Select this one and then copy to new user. So this will create a new user with the same properties of the PI super user. So logon ID, let's say Eker. Define initial password. Let's define a password. You will change this when we first log on to the system. So try to use a temporary password. For last name, let's fill also the first name. And email address. This is needed when we use like alert triggers. When the scenario gets a problem, then an alert is triggered and it will send an email. And when you do this, then you will also need an email address. For now, I will leave it blank. So this is enough. Save. Yeah, here we go. Our user is ready. So now let's turn back to the SLD. Let's enter the SLD. Our system landscape directory. From here we go to software catalog to products. Let's enter the product. Here we will have all the predefined products from SAP. As you see, there are lots of predefined products 3619. Sometimes you can use them for predefined scenarios, but this is another story. So let's say new, create a new product and version. Yes, this is what we want. As you can see, we will first have the action type, create a new product, then the product instance, and at last we create the software component and the version. The software component will be used in the NetWeaver Developer Studio. So next, product name. Okay, let's call it Udemy course. As you remember, since in the pre-configuration we made one, so I will create a second one to show you this process. Udemy course 2 vendor, let's call it again my name, version 1.0. Next, let's give it an instance name, Udemy course. Next. So now we add the add software component version, and let's give it also a name, Udemy course, and the version 1.0. So you can fill this in as you like. Okay. And if you need any information about what the fields are, then you can see here at the right we have the info buttons. When you click it, it will show you a pop-up with the with information, and it will also show you what type of characters you can use. So close and let's say finish. Now our product is created successfully. We will use this product, this software component for developments. Here you can see the details, general software component, etc., etc., product definition. Okay, now let's close this, and the next step is to open our SAP NetWeaver Developer Studio. So let's open this one. Select workspace. Yes, we can use this. And yes, here we are. First, you will see that the system, that the NetWeaver Developer Studio is not connected to the system. This is the first step which we are going to, which we have to do. So let's get the system online. For this, here under Process Integration, we have Change Preferences. When you open Change Preferences, you see here Connections under the PI Tools configuration. Right now this should be empty. So first of all, you can type in System Alias. I typed in PI System, and then the URL which we are using. Then we can test the connection, and you should get a systems available message. So after this, apply and press OK. So now here we can connect. Let's connect to the system. It will ask for username and password. So let's use the user we have created. Okay, you are connecting for the first time, so we have to change the password. So again, user and password here, log on, old password, and new password. Okay, change password change failed. Okay, I think it should be longer. Change. Okay, we have changed the password. So this opens again the user management. Let's close it, and then let's again connect. Use common credentials for directly in the repository. You can also check this one. Okay, connecting, and there we are. Now our system is connected. So you see that the SAP Basis software component and the Udemy course software component is here. I did this before, so you should just see the SAP Basis component. So first of all, we have to import the software component we created in the SLD. For this, let's say new software component version. Okay. We can create a local one, and we can import it from SLD. This is the option we should do always. And when I say import, now it's reading objects from SLD. So here, let's search for it. Udemy course 1.0 from America. Yes, that's correct. Select OK, then we have to select language, English, and finish. So now it will import the software component version, and here we have it. These are general information, and when you open this one, as you see, it's empty. Now we have to create a namespace. So on the Udemy course, you will say open namespaces. Here, as you see, it's empty. So let's add a new one. And let's call it HTTP Udemy course and file to file. And save it. Okay. I use here Ctrl+S So you can also save here. Okay, now it's saved. And here we will create all of our objects. So let's continue with the data type and have a new data type. This is our input. So we will define an XSD for the input structure. Let's say data type input, and automatically it has namespace filled because I clicked here. So finish, and it wants me to add it to the standard change list for later activation, so it's okay. You can also define different names for the standard change list. So this is our data type. As you see, it's right now empty, and here are general details. And this is the source, which is also right now empty. So let's define one, add element, and let's give it a name. Let's use name, and we have to give it a type. It will be a string. Yes, string. Okay. Minimum occurrence and maximum occurrence, so it has to occur, and it will occur one time. We can change this to it can occur more than one, and when I make the 0, it means it can occur. It doesn't have to. Okay, let's add another element. Okay, this is not under this, under root. Surname. This is also a string. So let's type string. Here we go. Okay, now we have a name and a surname. Why this didn't save? So let's type it again. Okay, now let's save it. So we have our name and surname. So this is the input. Here you can see the XSD. It's automatically generated. And we have saved this. Let's close this one and let's create another one. New data type and output. Finish. Yes. So let's add an element and let's call it full name. Give it string. Okay, so also our output is ready, and we can close this one. Let's create two message types. The first one is for the input. Here we have to select the data type. So this is the input. And finish. Yes. And the second one will be for the output. Output. Browse for the data type, output, OK, and finish. Yes. Great. Now let's check it. Yeah. Here you have the XSD with the message type at the top of it. So this is also finished. Now let's continue with the service interface. A new service interface. Let's name it again input. Finish. Yes. So here we have general information about the service interface. The important thing here is in the advanced tab we will have an outbound. This means the coming message in our scenario. And then we will move to the definition. Here is our service input, and here we will first of all check the type. It's asynchronous. That's correct. In our web service scenario we will use synchronous. and we will have to add an input message. So here let's browse and we will use the input. Okay, great. This is also finished. I have saved it. Let's close it and let's say new interface, and this time an output, and finish. Okay, advanced, it's an inbound, it's correct. Definition, here we will add an input message, and browse and output. So this is also finished. Now we have our service interfaces also ready. What is left is the message mapping and the operation mapping, which is here. So let's continue with the message mapping. New message mapping. Let's call it message mapping file to file. Finish. Okay, let's close this one. Here we have the source message and target message. So we will add, first of all, the input. This is our source message. And we will add the target, which is our the output, which is our target message. After that, we will go to the definitions tab. So we have the input and we have the output. Let's open them. Here they have the name and surname. Also we have here the full name. So first of all, we have to start with the full name. Double click, and then we can do it like this. So let's get the name here. Let's get the surname. So, and at the right side we have the functions. These are predefined functions. So under text, let's get concat. You can also define your own functions here. I will show this in another video. And let's bind them. Name and surname. So, and the output goes to full name. Let's double click and we will have a space between them. Okay. Right click, organize layout, and save it. So this is our mapping, and now we have to test it. To test it, we have to go to file. First of all, create a new project. So here on the examples, we have XML and editing and validating XML files. We have to create this project. Next, let's give it a name. Let's say Udemy test files or test XML. Use default location and finish. So this creates an folder where we can save our files or XML files for testing. So done this, let's open message mappings. Under our mapping, we will right click and choose generate and XML file. Here we have Udemy test XML. This is our folder we created, and it automatically says this name.xml, and that's, I think, suitable, but let's name it xi input and finish. So it will open the XML here. So we can open our message type and here see two elements, name and surname. So let's type in a test case, name Arman, surname Ecker, and save. Okay, great. This is our test case, and now we will right click again, run as, and we will get a new configuration. After I say run configuration, here is the message mapping. Now right click, new. It opens a new configuration. Test case 01. Okay, objects, let's choose our message mapping object. This one, okay. And we will get an test data details, test data. So this will be our XI input. It's under our workspace, under this folder, XI input. Okay. So, great. Apply, and we are ready to test it. Let's say run, and it will start doing the message mapping. Let's see what we get as a result. And here it is. Our full name, message type output, full name Armrecker, and the end. So, as you see, it worked. Great. Now we will continue with the operation mapping, which is here. So, this is our last object we need here. Here under the operation mapping, we will bind all the objects. Operation mapping, file to file, finish. Okay. So as you see, it's source operation, target operation. Let's get our source operation, service interface input, and let's get our target operation, service interface output. Let's save it. Let's also add the message mapping. For this we go to definition. As you see, the message type input and message type output are here. They come from the service interfaces. And we have here to add the message mapping. Double click assign mapping program, add, and this is our message mapping. Okay. Okay. So that's it. Let's save this. And the only thing left right now is to activate our objects. So to make this easy, let's open Enterprise Service Representative Perspective. And here we have the pending change list. Udemy course, standard change. This is the change that we used. And here you see that we have all of our objects. So we have to activate it so we can use them in the runtime environment. Change list activated. So no errors. Great. Now we can continue with the other sites. For this, let's close the perspective and go to the PI Explorer.